Everything else, but not that. She subsided. I counted another 30 tinny ticks, then 30 after that, for good measure. On the floor, Henry stirred and groaned. He began to sit up, then thought better of it. He crawled into the farthest corner of the room and curled in a ball. "Henry?" I said. Nothing from the curled shape in the corner. "Henry, she's dead. She's dead and I need help." Nothing still. "Henry, it's too late to turn back now. The deed is done. If you don't want to go to prison, and your father to the electric chair, then get on your feet and help me." He staggered toward the bed. His hair had fallen into his eyes, they glittered through the sweat-clumped locks like the eyes of an animal hiding in the bushes. He licked his lips repeatedly. "Don't step in the blood. We've got more of a mess to clean up in here than I wanted, but we can take care of it. If we don't track it all through the house, that is." "Do I have to look at her?" "Papa, do I have to look?" "No. Neither of us do." We rolled her up, making the counterpane her shroud. Once it was done, I realized we couldn't carry her through the house that way. In my half-plans and daydreams, I had seen no more than a discreet thread of blood marring the counterpane where her cut throat, her neatly cut throat, lay beneath. I had not foreseen or even considered the reality. The white counterpane was a blackish purple in the dim room, oozing blood as a bloated sponge will ooze water. There was a quilt in the closet. I could not suppress a brief thought of what my mother would think if she could see what use I was making of that lovingly stitched wedding present. I laid it on the floor. We dropped Arlette onto it. Then we rolled her up. "Quick," I said. "Before this starts to drip, too." "No. Wait. Go for a lamp." He was gone so long that I began to fear he'd run away. Then I saw the light come bobbing down the short hall past his bedroom and to the one Arlette and I shared. Had shared. I could see the tears gushing down his waxy pale face. "Put it on the dresser." He set the lamp down by the book I had been reading, Sinclair Lewis's Main Street. I never finished it, I could never bear to finish it. By the light of the lamp, I pointed out the splashes of blood on the floor, and the pool of it right beside the bed. "More is running out of the quilt," he said. If I'd known how much blood she had in her. I shook the case free of my pillow and snugged it over the end of the quilt like a sock over a bleeding shin. Take her feet, I said. We need to do this part right now. And don't faint again, Henry, because I can't do it by myself. I wish it was a dream, he said, but he bent and got his arms around the bottom of the quilt. Do you think it might be a dream, Papa? We'll think it is, a year from now when it's all behind us. Part of me actually believed this. Quickly, now. Before the pillowcase starts to drip. Or the rest of the quilt. We carried her down the hall, across the sitting room, and out through the front door like men carrying a piece of furniture wrapped in a mover's rug. Once we were down the porch steps, I breathed a little easier. Blood in the dooryard could easily be covered over. Henry was all right until we got around the corner of the cow barn and the old well came in view. It was ringed by wooden stakes so no one would by accident step on the wooden cap that covered it. Those sticks looked grim and horrible in the starlight, and at the sight of them, Henry uttered a strangled cry.